Hey baby, do you want to be in it too? Do you want to be in it too? Hello, welcome back to my channel. Sorry, the dogs. I'm back at home, at like my family home, house sitting for my mum for the weekend, and the dogs are here. I don't see them much and I don't have the heart to shut them away while I film this. So I'm sorry if there's some pooches making an appearance. This is Dave, by the way. My little boy Dave. So I kind of feel like I have some explaining to do, not because I feel like I owe anyone an explanation, but because I do preach being transparent. I am a you get what you see person, and on my last video I had lots of really lovely comments about how positive I am, how much I look like I'm enjoying myself, and just people loving my energy. And 99.9% of the time I am a happy, cheery, positive person, but my life isn't perfect and sometimes things happen that make me not so positive and cheery. And anyone that goes through like a prep or anything really and claims that they enjoy absolutely 100% of every second is a liar. Even in the moments when you look back on it and you're so happy that you did it, you probably don't enjoy it 100% of the time. And that goes for anything. Like, for example, you might be at uni and working towards a degree. There's times when you don't enjoy studying, probably. Yes, I see you, I do. But you do it anyway, and in the end it's worth it because you maybe get that degree that gets you the job that you want, but you don't ever look back on those times studying and hate it. You go, oh, I'm so glad I did that. And a prep is exactly the same. And especially when a challenge pops up, it can be difficult. Now, I do have a little clip that I'm about to insert because basically I got injured. I hurt my back. So this clip was filmed 2 weeks ago tomorrow. And basically I came out of a leg session where on my last rep of the hack squat, I just knew something wasn't right. My back didn't feel great. And then I went onto my leg presses and I had to like drop my weight right back. I couldn't even bear the weight. And I was like, shit, I was panicking. I wanted to capture that moment because that was the first real moment in prep that I had kind of like a down moment. And like I said, I want to document the whole process for the good and the bad. So I'm gonna insert that here. Okay, I'm just picking the camera up. I have no idea what vlog or video this is gonna go in, but I just feel like I've shown a lot of highs so far because there hasn't really been any prep lows, and unfortunately that's not always the case. Today was one of those days and I just feel like I should share it so that if you're going through prep and you're watching my videos and it's difficult, that you're not thinking, why is this person finding it so easy? Because it's not. So today was started out great. I got up, I did my cardio, totally smashed it. I even put it up a notch. Like, I felt great. Yesterday was a rest day, which was the last video I filmed, and I felt awesome. And then I did start to feel quite tired this morning, but I was like, you know what, it'll be fine. I'll get my pre-workout in, it'll be good. And then I just got in and my first exercise was adductors and they regressed by 2 reps. Both sets, it felt so heavy. I was like, what on earth? So I'm gonna have to strip that back next time and make it lighter. Then I did hamstring curls, kind of same thing, regressed and then a stall. And then a hack squat I matched, but on the last rep my back just went. And like, I then had to do leg press, and for my leg press sets I had to drop 40 kilos off the weight. My back was agony. I was trying so hard not to cry. Like, if you've not followed my Instagram and stuff for a while, I've never actually like cried on my camera before, but I cry all the time. I'm an emotional person. Like, my emotions just come out as tears. It doesn't really matter what it is. If I'm super sad, super happy, frustrated, angry, and not like, it just comes out as tears no matter what it is. And I was just so frustrated, and I was just having one of those sessions and my back was sore. Doing calves, it hurt, and I just felt so frustrated, and I couldn't pose post-workout because I was like, if you've ever done a bikini pose, like, you have to bend your back in all sorts of ways, and it was like there was no way my lower back was going to take it. And I didn't pose this morning because I wanted to do extra post-workout without a mirror. I'm just so frustrated because I hold myself to such a high standard that when things like that go wrong, it's just so annoying. And in the grand scheme of things, it'll be fine. Like, I actually hurt my back on my last prep and it was fine. I got over it, and I know that this will be fine. Don't get me wrong, I'm not broken. I just, like, when you've been training for so long, you know your limits. and I knew sitting on that leg press, I was like, if I do not stop these reps like shy of failure, that I'm gonna fuck it. I'm gonna fuck my back, and that's not worth it. But at the same time, I'm like, stop being a pussy and train to failure. And it's just that internal battle of like, don't be a pussy, but also don't be an idiot. And the thing is, like, if I was talking to me as a client, I'd be like, no, that's the right thing. Like, you did the right thing. You're still training hard, but reducing the weight and just stopping with those couple of reps in the tank. It's better to do that than be sorry later. Like, I would say that to a client, but because it's me, I'm too emotionally involved. And this is why I could never coach myself. And Nicky was being filmed. I didn't really want to bother him. Just so annoyed. Just gonna insert this in whatever my next video is, because my prep's been hunky-dory up until now, and yeah, I've been a bit hungry and some days I've been a bit cranky, but like nothing bad's happened, like, at all. That was the first time I've cried prep tears, and don't get me wrong, I wasn't howling in the gym. There was a couple of like tears, and I pulled it together because Nicky's been filmed and I didn't want to put Matt in that situation where I'm upset, but I had my little cry on the way home. I'm pissed off, but I'll survive. This is the point though where a lot of people would be like, oh, I've hurt my back, that's it, I have to go and eat rubbish, I have to go and eat loads of food and comfort myself, or I'll just not do my steps, or I'll just skip out on everything. And it's in these situations where it makes or breaks you. And so, is it ideal that my back is buggered? No. Is it probably going to be as bad as I think it is? Probably not, because I did the sensible thing. Like, the thing that would ruin the prep is if I was to go off plan because of that minor inconvenience of a sore back. So what I'm going to do is, I've already messaged my mum, who's a physio, and asked her what I should do, and we're going to sort it. I'll be super careful with my rehab and just carry on. If you ever are in a prep or a diet phase and something goes wrong, the last thing to do is say fuck it. There's very few things that could physically ruin your progress apart from you just taking yourself further off plan. So I'm gonna go make my cream of rice and make myself feel a bit better. I'll do that, and then I've got lots of work to do, but wherever this ends up, hopefully that was useful. And yeah, hopefully that has given you a little bit of a gist. But basically that was the Friday. On the Saturday I trained upper body and I was fine, and I rested the Sunday. I then did a push session on Monday, which will be a video that's coming up, as I did film that with Matt. So that session actually went okay. But then on the Tuesday, it was glutes and hamstrings, and I was an idiot. I pushed myself too hard, and basically I came out of Smith squats, got into the seated hamstring curl, and even bearing the weight of like the seated hamstring curl out at that point was agony. I got Nicky to come help with my set. I was almost in tears in the set, and I had to, for the rest of the session, drop my weight significantly, and I was like really tempoing. 3-second contractions, like so slow, holding the squeeze, really slowly stretching with like a teeny tiny weight. And I normally RDL 85 kilos for my paused reps. I had to drop it to 40 and stop above my knee. It was literally just like stretch and squeeze. It wasn't good. And the following day I had to train back, and I had to adapt that session, and I was struggling. I insisted on doing cardio, which, to be fair, probably helped. I found the more I moved, the better it felt. Basically, I was just stressing out. Now, I didn't just power on with like no consideration for doing more damage or anything. My mum is a physio, and I am so thankful that she is, because I basically phoned her crying and I was like, help. And she helped me, she sorted me out, and we got a bit of a game plan. Now, a big part of this is I'm so thankful to my mum is that she understands that prep can't stop, because a few years ago, if that had happened to me in prep, she would have said, no, you gotta stop, gotta rest, you can't keep going. But she was like, I know you can't do that. So we decided that the Stairmaster, I shouldn't go on a treadmill for a while because it's just too high impact. So we did Stairmaster every day. I had to rest it for a certain amount of time, and then we gradually introduced stretches, icing it, heating it, ibuprofen gel, like literally having like a full-on routine to help it. It was very hard mentally to do that because it's prep and I want to go full throttle with everything. And so as much as I wish I'd picked my camera up more to document what really happened, I just wasn't in the headspace to do that at the time. I felt very much like I just needed to concentrate on me, what I was doing. I was having so much doubt Now, I'm someone who struggles with self-doubt anyway. The thing is, when I doubt myself, all I know is that I know I can hit my diet 100%, train hard and cardio my ass off. Like, I'll do anything you ask of me. But when you have to take that step back from the things that normally make you more self-assured, it's so mentally challenging. And at that point, I was stressing. I was feeling like my body also I'd been dropping weight, but I wasn't feeling like I was on time with how lean I was. I was getting myself so worked up and so stressed, and literally on the last Sunday, so like over a week after I injured my back, I literally just had a breakdown. It's like, I don't want to do it. I feel like I can't bring my best. I feel like I'm a failure, and it was tough. If you knew me years ago, I would never have done this. I would never have sat down and talked to a camera. I'd never have posted something on the internet like that. I share a lot of myself online. And like I say, I'm just so, what you see is what you get. And so when I'm struggling, I'm never going to post something that's happy and pretend that it's fine. And I think in that moment, as much as I would have loved to be real and raw, one, no one wants to see me crying at a camera. Two, I don't really want the world to see me crying at a camera. And three, I feel like I need to just focus on myself to get myself out of it. So that's what I did, and that's where we are now. I have this week had some productive sessions. I'm yet to try a full-on like quad focused leg session, which was where I hurt it and where I struggle the most. Like, even getting in a leg press is really sore, but I'm planning on training that tomorrow. But yeah, that's where I've been. But I've been a bit quiet. It just inspired me to come on and talk about overcoming injury a little bit, because it happens to the best of us or the mediocre of us and you don't see it coming, and that's what is probably the hardest to deal with. Where there's a will, there's a way, and I was not defeated last year through multiple lockdowns, through all sorts of family nonsense going on. Like, last year prep threw a hell of a lot of curveballs at me, and I never gave up, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna let a little back injury come in and ruin this one. So we're still fine, and since then I've made such good progress and I finally feel okay again. But the one thing I am concerned about still is being able to load my glutes, because it's one thing training your glutes a bit lighter for a couple of weeks, but I don't want to run the risk of having to train them light for a long time and risk losing anything there, because like I've said in previous videos, I have to cardio hard and diet hard to bring my body fat down. I'm not someone who can diet on high food as much as I wish I was, and so that's just a consideration I have to take. And normally my muscle retention comes from me really making sure my training is on point, which while being injured I couldn't do. So we'll see how it goes. Sorry, joined by another doggy now. That's my story. That's where I've been. That's what I've been up to. This month, August, is a busy one. In hindsight, I kind of wish I hadn't made it so busy for myself, because it's not that far till show now. We are now 6.5 weeks out. Is that right? 7 weeks? No, it is 6. 6 weeks out. I'm 6 weeks out on Sunday. So 6.5 weeks out right now. So it's not long and I have a lot on. So currently, I am at home for a few days because I agreed to house sit, hence why I'm in my family home living room and I'm surrounded by dogs. What I do plan on doing is filming a little day in the life tomorrow, seeing what we get up to while we're at home for the day. Hopefully you've made it through this little brief video. I just felt like I couldn't continue on with vlogging tomorrow and just pretending like nothing had happened, because I did like disappear for 2 weeks and there's like a big massive gap between 8 weeks out and 6 weeks out that I just haven't accounted for. And so that's what's happened. I've been injured, I've been in my own little bubble, I had my little pity party, but I never missed a beat. I did everything I could to get out of it, and here we are. And I will probably update you more on how I'm looking, feeling, etc. tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. I am going to be sharing so much more of my journey now. I promise. I keep saying it, but I promise I am. It's now at the point where it's interesting and there's more to share. Like I said, I've got lots on, so please come along for the ride. I will speak to you all tomorrow, and thank you again for watching. Bye.